okay to yell. It's not okay to scream. We love applause. The louder the applause, the better we know we're playing, okay? But it's not okay to yell or to scream. So we want you to be on your very best concert behavior, please. For our parents, welcome. We're really excited to have you here. The 5th grade band has come a long, long way. They're playing really, really well, and they're very excited to play for you today. Logistically, it's a little bit more difficult here to get things back and forth. Fortunately, we have plenty of time, so we're going to move in and out to make that work today. Our concert is kind of serving a lot of purposes this morning. One, it's a chance for our 4th graders to get to see the instruments because next year it's your turn. I'm actually going to be here next week, 4th graders, to start letting you try the instrument, figure out what it is that you want to play. And a little bit later in our concert, we'll show you what all those instruments are so you know what your choices are. It is also a great time for our 5th graders to get to see what's going on at the middle schools. We're very, very fortunate to have great band programs in all of our middle schools. So no matter which school they're going to get a great experience. But today we're really lucky to have Villago here under the direction of Miss Baker. You'll get to hear him again a little later. We're really pleased to have them traveling to all the elementary schools today. It works out really well. But we're going to go ahead and get started with our 5th graders. They're excited to play for you. We're going to start with a little short rendition of America. You're going to get to hear our woodwind family, which is our flutes, our clarinets, and our saxes. Our brass family, which is our trumpets and trombones, and our percussion family. Percussion family consists of a lot of instruments. With our 5th graders, you're going to hear them playing the bell kit. And then a little bit later on, we have a few students who mastered all the necessary skills and got to move on to snare drum already this year. So we have a couple students who will be playing some snare drum for you a little bit later on too. Our next selection is Old MacDonald Had a Band. So our next selection will be variations on a familiar theme. Super good. We'd love to have about 10 trombones in our band. So if you like the sound of that, be sure you put that as one of your choices. Our second solo is going to be Braden on the trumpet. We're going to have him come up too. I know it's hard fourth graders for you to see, so we're going to bring him up to the edge so you can see him real good. This is a trumpet. The trumpet is also a brass instrument. The mouthpiece is a little bit smaller. And he changes his notes by putting down different combinations of his vowels. Not only does he have to worry about those vowel combinations, but he has to control the speed of his air and tightening and loosening his lip to get high notes and low notes to sound. So that's our second soloist. And our last soloist is going to be Hayden on the alto sax. And Hayden's really tucked back there, but we're going to try to bring him up here. Hayden? Oh no, they're giving me the high side, never mind. I did this in the last school too. I skipped the whole section. It's Matthew on the bell kit, and he's way in the back. He's going to hold that up high so that you can see. The bell kit is set up just like a piano, and I know I saw some people working in there on piano just as I went in. On his bell kit, they're all the same color, but it's the same thing. The thing that makes a big difference for the bell kit, instead of playing it with his fingers, he has a pair of mallets back there that he strikes each note with. So that is called a bell kit. It's part of our percussion section. So our three soloists again are going to be Taylor, Braden, and Matthew. instrument. So instead of buzzing her lips, she blows into that mouthpiece, the reed buzzes, and that's what makes the sound. On her clarinet, there are actually holes, and one of the tricks on clarinet is making sure you cover those holes completely to get those right notes to come out. Our second soloist is Anahi, who happened to be right behind me, and Anahi plays the flute. The flute is also a woodwind instrument. The sound is made a little bit different. She actually blows her air across the embouchure plate and the tone hole to make the sound. It's a lot like blowing across a pop bottle or a water bottle to make that little whoo sound. The thing that's really unique about the flute, when she plays, her flute is held off to the side and she can't see her fingers. So one of our challenges at the beginning of the years is getting used to those fingers over there. We can't see them, getting them in the right places and down in the correct combinations. Our final soloist is now going to be Hayden on the alto sax. And we're going to pull him up front so you can see his sax. The alto sax is also a woodwind instrument. His sax has a reed on the back, just like the clarinet. It's a little bit bigger. One of the big keys with alto sax for our fourth graders, if you're really wanting to play the alto sax, your hands have to be pretty big. They have to be at least as big as mine or a little bit bigger. So if alto sax is your first choice, the first thing you're going to do when you come in is show me those hands. If you have little tiny hands, it doesn't mean you can't play the sax, it just means you're probably going to have to wait a little bit. So then we start you on a different instrument, and then as you get older, those hands grow, and we can move you on to the alto sax. So those will be our three soloists for Banana Boat: Mariah, Anahi, and Hayden. And Hayden, you can go ahead and go back to your stand, but be aware that you're actually going to hear Mariah play twice. She's going to be the first soloist. She's going to play again at the end. So please wait till she finishes the second time to applaud. There's flute, clarinet, alto saxophone, trumpet, trombone, and percussion. When you go back to class, your teachers already have packets from me that they'll be giving to you. Everybody should take those home, get those filled out, have your parents sign them. I'll be back next week to work with you guys and let you try the instruments. In order for you to try the instrument, the form has to be returned and signed. So be sure you take that home right away, get it filled out, signed, bring it back, and give it to your teacher so we can get started with you, so we can have a bunch of you playing up here next year. For our parents, one of our big steps in second semester 5th grade band is part playing. And the Desert Willow Band, I tell you what, they have just gone crazy with their part playing. We are going to be playing a piece for you called Centurion. As you listen to it, you'll notice that they're no longer all playing the same thing at the same time. There's times where maybe they're not playing at all. Some other section is playing. There's times when maybe half the clarinets are playing one thing and half the clarinets are playing something else. And there's times where there's 4 different things going on at the same time. And a big step for our students is learning that independent playing. So we actually have 2 songs that we're going to play for you, but the first one is going to be Centurion. program, we have the opportunity for students to earn belts. They earn their belts by playing exercises for me, and they have to play them perfect. So at the beginning of the year, just a little short exercise, they come in and play it for me by themselves. If they play it perfect, they get their belts. A lot of the parents have seen their first belts, they're just zip ties. They zip tie them to their cases, all different colors, as they earn their belts. For those students who earned all 6 of their belts throughout the year, they had the opportunity to play for their black belt. Their black belt was much more difficult, and it was something that I didn't work with them. I just told them what it was and said, go learn it and come back and play it for me. One of the big skills they need as they get older is to be able to learn stuff independently, so this is what we did. We had at Desert Willow, we had 12 students earn their black belts, which is amazing. So we're going to go ahead and award those black belts right now, and then you're going to have to bear with us for a second because we wanted to get a picture taken, because in addition to getting their certificate and their black belt, in the room there is a bulletin board that year after year their picture goes up on that bulletin board, and it gets to stay up there till I retire or I die, and hopefully retirement comes first. So they get to come back and take a look at that picture and have their pictures up there on the wall until I'm out of here. So I'm excited to announce our winners at Desert Willow, if I can put my program down. It's, again, logistically a little bit difficult to maneuver them around, but we're going to give it a go. Our first winner is a flute player, and that is Anahi. Next, we have a clarinet player, Diego. And another clarinet player, Brent. And a percussion, Isabella. And a flute player, Layla. And now we have a trumpet player, Braden. Next up, another trumpet, Aiden. Percussionist, Matthew. And next up, we have a flute player, Mallory. And another percussionist, Delilah. And another flute player, we have Miguel. And last but not least, we have on clarinet, Kyle. So before I come down to take their picture, these students have all worked super, super hard. Please give them a huge round of applause. It's really nice to have Mrs. Baker traveling along to be my assistant. We did have to mix things up a little bit here today for a really good reason. All my other schools, we only did one part playing piece, big part playing piece. But since these guys were so far along, we actually added a second one. And for those of you who are musicians, it's actually in a different key, which is a whole other challenge for the kids. So we are going to play for you now, We the People.
everyone. How are we doing? Good? All right, we are so glad to be here. We always love coming and playing with the fifth grade. You guys sound fantastic. This is a piece where we move. So before we do that, I'm going to let a few of our players introduce themselves on their instrument because some of these you guys haven't seen before. So actually, right in the front, we have two of our players. This is a sousaphone. So Miss Moore plays a baritone. It's a bigger version of that, but this is a marching version of a tuba. So really quick, I'm going to let you hear how low it goes. Go ahead and play your B flat, guys. Ready? Like a foghorn. So that's the low register. So trombone, if you eventually want to go to baritone and play sousaphone, it's an option. So cool. And then JC and Lily, come to the front real quick. So these are two other instruments you guys haven't really seen, and clarinets and saxophones, these kind of apply to you. JC is playing a tenor saxophone, that's just a bigger version, and there's an even bigger one called a bari saxophone we don't have today. And then Lily's playing a bass clarinet, which is a bigger version of clarinet. So I'm just going to have them play their concert B flat first note. There you go. So it just fills out the lower section of the band, gets a little bit more instrumentation. So once you guys get a little bit older and continue with band in middle school and high school, you can maybe play those too. Really cool. All right, this is one of our favorite tunes. They do move, so watch your arms and your legs and your hands and your feet and all that good stuff. This is called Band Yell.
with it when things get difficult. So we would like to give a big thank you to Ms. Collins, Ms. Diaz, Ms. Nichols, and Ms. Renteria, if you would give them a round of applause. So they're spending their entire day with us, and I appreciate them coming along with Miss Baker. So if you give them another round of applause. And my last thank you has to go to our students that are on stage. I'm really sad to see these kids go. They have worked really, really super hard this year. The only thing that makes me feel good about letting them go is eventually I'll see them again with the middle school groups, which is really good. But the students that you see up on stage, really incredibly hard workers. They have gone so far this year and learned so much. They are a lot of fun to teach. They work hard. They do what they're supposed to do. So a really big round of applause for our fifth grade dancers. Which is really fun. Once that is finished for our 4th and 5th grade students, their teachers can go ahead and start taking them out once we finish Cardiff Castle. The middle school is going to play for the parents on 1 or 2 more pieces until we get all the kids out. And once we get them out, then I will release these guys to come down and say hello to you. You can take pictures. If you'd like to take their instruments home for them today, that would be fantastic. We're not going to have band the rest of the year. I work with 4th graders. So you can take those home for them today. And then we will send them back to class for the rest of the day in school. So we're going to go ahead and finish up with our last number, which is Cardiff Castle. And thanks to everyone for coming out this morning.